Not every chapter in the Halloween franchise features the masked killer. Halloween 3 removes Michael entirely, leaving no kills, no stalking shadows, and no cold, sudden deaths. Instead, the film focuses on other threats, but the absence of Michael is palpable. Fans feel the void immediately because the essence of the series is defined by his relentless presence. No lives are claimed by him here, yet the silence of his absence sets the tone. The saga begins quietly. Teenagers make out in the dark, giggling and unaware of the nightmare creeping toward them. Michael Myers begins his bloodlust at home, stabbing his sister Judith to death. It's his first kill, swift, merciless, and intimate. Then he disappears into the night, the world oblivious to what is coming. 15 years later, Michael escapes Smith's Grove Mental Hospital, showing terrifying strength as he slaps a window, steals a car, and heads back to Haddonfield. Once there, his stalking begins. He watches Laurie Strode and her friends with a patience only evil could fuel. Most of the movie builds suspense, Michael walking, watching, and waiting. But when the killing starts, it's methodical and brutal. He chokes Laurie's friend in the back of a car, kills 2 teenagers caught in a sexual moment, and pins a victim to the wall. A signature move he will repeat for decades. He strangles another girlfriend, lays out the bodies to terrorize Laurie, and finally attacks her. The showdown ends with a stabbing in the eye using a clothes hanger, followed by Loomis shooting Michael, sending him plunging into the darkness. 2 decades later, Michael returns older, but no less deadly. H20 counts 6 victims: the janitor, a teacher, 2 students, and 2 others trying to escape in school corridors. Classrooms and hallways become deadly traps. Michael moves silently, stalking until the moment to strike. Each kill is precise, quick, and calculated. His age does not slow him. He uses timing, space, and fear to dominate. Though the number of deaths is lower than later films, every kill carries weight. The audience feels the tension in each hallway, each classroom, knowing no one can escape him. Michael's presence is a shadow that brings death to every corner. Halloween Ends keeps the body count deliberately low, but every strike carries a weight of obsession and precision. The 6 victims are chosen with cold calculation. Townspeople who cross his path, survivors of his past massacres, and anyone trying to shield Laurie Strode from his relentless pursuit. One early victim is a townsperson who steps in to block him, only to meet a swift, brutal end. Another is a survivor barricading themselves inside a house, attempting to outwit him. Michael exploits the environment to end his life instantly. 2 more victims are random civilians caught on dark streets, their screams swallowed by the shadows. The final 2 deaths strike closer to home. One is an ally of Laurie, and the last is an innocent caught in the violent culmination of the climactic confrontation. The settings themselves amplify terror. Empty homes, shadowed rural roads, and isolated lanes become stages for his meticulous slaughter. Michael anticipates reactions before they happen, moving silently but decisively. Every movement is precise, every strike inevitable. Though the number of victims is lower than in other films, the psychological weight is heavier. Fear builds not from quantity, but from inevitability. Anyone who sees Michael anywhere is at risk. Even brief glimpses of him lurking in the shadows instill dread, making the audience feel the relentless pressure of a predator who cannot be stopped. Michael's control over both his environment and his victims' reactions cements his dominance. The first sequel escalates Michael's lethality. 9 lives are claimed, including Nurse Chambers, a patient, and several hospital staff members. Haddonfield Memorial Hospital, a place meant for healing and safety, becomes a hunting ground of terror. Michael moves through cramped corridors, stairwells, and rooms with uncanny awareness. He exploits panic and confusion, appearing suddenly to strike with lethal precision. Each death is abrupt, shocking, and final. Victims have no time to resist, and the hospital's familiar safe spaces become death traps. Michael stalks with patience, choosing his moments for maximum fear. The horror intensifies because he can appear anywhere at any time. Even characters attempting to fight back are crushed beneath his unstoppable will. This film demonstrates Michael's evolution. He is no longer just a local menace, but a predator capable of calculating, anticipating, and annihilating any opposition. Every kill in this film reinforces that Haddonfield is his territory, and no one is safe within it. Michael enters a modernized nightmare in Resurrection, a reality TV house filled with cameras, lights, and unsuspecting participants. 10 victims die: contestants, crew members, and the house manager. Michael uses the environment as a weapon, striking from shadows, corners, and behind obstacles, making every room a stage for terror. The kills are quick and precise, and terrifyingly effective. Every death reinforces his omnipresence. Cameras, surveillance, and walls cannot protect anyone. Psychological horror is as important as the physical act. Michael manipulates perception, making his victims and the audience feel trapped. He is no longer just a silent stalker. He is a calculating, omnipotent predator. Each strike is deliberate. Every kill reinforces the inevitability of his presence. Michael's efficiency reaches a new peak. 12 victims die, including teenagers, family members, and Haddonfield residents. His attacks are both relentless and calculated. He adapts seamlessly to every scenario. Tight hallways, open streets, and confined indoor spaces all become arenas for his kills. Every strike leaves survivors shattered, instilling lasting dread. Even off-screen, his presence dominates, creating tension in every scene. Michael has become a predator who can transform ordinary spaces into death traps. His patience, adaptability, and brutal calculation elevate him from mere stalker to unstoppable force of terror. Keep watching to see exactly who falls to Michael's blade next and how each death changes the game. Stay with us as we count every kill, from the quietest strike to the most brutal. Rob Zombie amplifies violence and chaos. 13 victims die, including friends, strangers, and family members. Michael is loud, chaotic, and instinct-driven. He attacks with raw power, overwhelming victims with sheer force, showing no patience or restraint. Each death reinforces his inevitability. There is no strategy, no subtlety, just destruction. He is elemental, a primal force of terror. Loud, raw, and intense, this version of Michael leaves devastation everywhere he moves. The physical domination over his victims becomes the horror itself. He is unstoppable, unrelenting, and utterly terrifying. Michael returns after years of absence, and Haddonfield streets are no longer safe. He claims 15 victims, including babysitters, teens, and residents. The town's quiet suburban atmosphere becomes a hunting ground. Every yard, hallway, and doorway turns into a potential trap. Michael moves with methodical patience, observing, waiting, and striking with lethal precision. His early victims are teenagers and babysitters who underestimate him. He appears suddenly in darkened hallways, slicing and stabbing without warning. Each death is swift, silent, and shocking, leaving bodies where they fall as grim warnings. Residents caught outdoors or in their homes are not spared. Michael uses every corner, staircase, and shadow to his advantage. One family member is eliminated while trying to protect a child, demonstrating his ruthless cunning. Michael's stalking here is relentless. He doesn't rush. He builds tension, letting fear fester in every scene. Every creak of a floorboard or flicker of light hints at his presence. Even off-screen, the audience feels his reach. By the film's end, 15 lives are claimed, each death emphasizing that Michael is no longer a silent stalker. He has become an unstoppable force, moving with terrifying momentum, turning Haddonfield into a citywide death trap. In this installment, Michael reaches a more calculated, sinister stage. 17 victims fall to his blade: townspeople, family members, and unsuspecting travelers. His killings are precise and cold, deliberate in every move. Hallways, farmhouses, and lonely rural roads transform into arenas of death under his control. Michael strikes quickly and silently, leaving no opportunity for resistance. Even police officers and family members attempting to confront him are outmaneuvered or dispatched with ease. One traveler, caught wandering in the countryside, is struck before he can react. Teenagers meeting their fate in abandoned buildings and homes are overtaken with methodical horror. The tension in this film is both psychological and physical. Michael doesn't just kill, he instills dread, making every shadow, every room, every corner a potential death sentence. His movements are precise, his timing impeccable, and his efficiency terrifying. With 17 victims, this chapter solidifies his evolution from relentless stalker to calculating, unstoppable destroyer. Anyone in his path is doomed, and no space is safe from the inevitability of his blade. Rob Zombie's 2007 reboot presents Michael as a raw, unrestrained force of nature. 18 victims die under his violent, chaotic spree, including friends, teens, and unsuspecting residents. Unlike previous incarnations, this Michael does not stalk quietly. He overwhelms his prey with sheer strength, rage, and relentless aggression. The killings are sudden and brutal. Michael bursts through doors, crashes through hallways, and overpowers anyone foolish enough to cross him. Each death is immediate, shocking, and physically devastating. He moves like a storm, destroying everything in his path. Walls, furniture, and the bodies themselves become part of the horror he creates. Every space is a potential weapon in his hands. Hallways, rooms, and alleys serve as arenas where victims are hunted and crushed. The film emphasizes his physicality, showing Michael as a predator who cannot be reasoned with, bargained with, or escaped. 18 lives are snuffed out with chaotic violence, marking this version of Michael as pure, unrelenting terror incarnate. The 2018 reboot maintains 18 deaths but shifts the terror to calculated, strategic stalking. Michael moves through familiar streets, homes, and neighborhoods like a ghostly predator. Ordinary spaces, driveways, living rooms, and quiet sidewalks become lethal arenas. His kills include opportunistic victims, civilians in the wrong place at the wrong time, and anyone attempting to intervene. An early victim is a store clerk ambushed unexpectedly, showing his patience and timing. Teenage couples attempting to flee are eliminated with chilling efficiency. Residents and bystanders are caught off guard in seemingly safe spaces. Michael's silent stalking amplifies fear. He doesn't rush, he waits, turning every tense moment into inevitable horror. This version emphasizes decades of experience. Michael's strikes are precise, inevitable, and terrifyingly quiet. He is no longer just a local legend of fear. He is a methodical force of death, turning every familiar street into a trap, every home into a tomb. 18 victims fall, each reinforcing the terrifying certainty that no one survives an encounter with him. Michael reaches the peak of his lethal power in Halloween Kills, claiming 30 victims. He moves through houses, streets, and public spaces with horrifying efficiency. Civilians, survivors, and anyone foolish enough to confront him are eliminated without mercy. This film shows him as an unstoppable force, a storm of destruction consuming everything in his path. Early victims include a startled neighbor killed while investigating a noise, followed by a group of teens who are taken down in rapid succession. Protesters, family members, and security personnel also fall, demonstrating his ability to manipulate chaos. Michael turns doors, crowds, and alleyways into traps, showing mastery of his environment. Haddonfield becomes a city of fear, with no one safe, no corner secure, and no shadow free from his reach. Michael Myers is the embodiment of death itself. And in Halloween Kills, he reaches the ultimate height of horror. And there you have it, every single one of Michael Myers' kills, ranked by movie. Which Halloween film do you think had the most creative kills? Drop your thoughts down in the comments. If you had fun watching, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next horror breakdown or kill count ranking. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay spooky.